XRP right now is 20% up for the day and the volume followed. That's really interesting to understand because when we see the volume going nuts here, that really makes a lot of sense because it's not only that we are breaking through a key level, that is important one because that's a short, medium and long-term breakout, which is serious. Anyone who is in this asset, following this asset, trying to learn about the history of this asset, this one should be interesting because what we see here is a possibility of a 60x run up. Now, is that hyped? No, I don't think it's that hyped because level 3 here, the wave 3, you did 26. And here in the wave 2, you did 80x. So a 60x right now with all these happening, it does not look that crazy because we are just entering into the wave 2. Now, you also have to understand that we'll have multiple resistance as we go higher. One of which will be somewhere close to around $2, which is like, say, close to 90 to 100 billion in the market cap, right? And that kind of gives you the narrative. Yeah, we have 50 billion supply outside the market and we are coming close to $2. It's good, but it's also that we are retesting the previous high of $2 and then the next resistance is only $3.8. That's close to that. Once we break that level, it's going to be price discovery. Before we started this run up, I posted this in the group saying, okay, look, I think this is about to blow higher. And that just broke like this. And I'm really interested because we did a video yesterday talking through the scenario when XDC was pumping and XRP was not, saying, okay, I won't be surprised if this actually starts pumping on the macro. Because right now, even the maxis are saying there is demand for XRP. And why do we think that is happening? Because the SEC is getting smashed and these key points highlighted by the code, that clearly goes for Ripple and XRP, the asset. Because one judge saying this for a crypto company, crypto asset or anything, and another going against it, it won't make sense because the law court cases work like this. They just come, they look at the history, look at the current case, and if there is a previous ruling, they most likely follow that. So the fundamentals, the technicals, the news, the narrative, everything is turning positive, and we are observing BTC dominance getting slowed down here. If we have a little bit of room, I think XRP is going to explode. Say Bitcoin dominance, take a breather, come back down to test this previous level and then bounce back, you will still see XRP running. Because right now when you zoom in on that, you're getting an engulfing candle which is bearish on the Bitcoin dominance. That is greatly bullish for the altcoin market as a whole, but volume and money coming into the market speaks a lot. Yesterday, we talked about the scenario saying, okay, look at the market. If the market likes it, then don't go against it. And that's why looking at all these older charts, it makes a lot of sense. Say, this one we discussed earlier this month. And right now, it has a lot of importance. The way it's breaking higher right now, the short-term targets, the medium-term outlook, everything seems really important. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We discussed about these scenarios before, but now the time has come. We are breaking through the 700 days long trend line resistance. And this post was made as we were breaking through that because my job here is to look for what's happening in the market and to give you guys the right idea so that you guys are already looking at the chart saying, okay, I'm prepared. And if I'm not prepared, I have the opportunity to be, right? And then you know the targets, the short term, the medium term, the macro. You don't have to FOMO in because this highlights that if you break through the 50-day moving average on a weekly, you're coming back down to retest that before the next big bounce. But the big bounces here is showing you and me that when it goes up, it goes parabolic. That for me is like, okay, if you say that, okay, the run is over, then you miss a couple of candles, done. So this asset is one of which you need to have an enormous amount of patience. One, this runs late. We all know that. We have all seen Jan and Feb where a lot of different tokens took off and XRP did not. But right now we are seeing that it is breaking through, and our job here is to go back to the macro to understand what the hell is happening. And that's what we are about to do here. Now, while we look at XRP and say this is a cup and handle, first thing we need to understand is this cup and handle is formed after a strong trend, not a consolidative one. That is really important for us to understand, because a lot of people here in the market seems to say, I don't see a three-wave structure anywhere. And I'm like, most of these assets we are following, we literally see the ABC pattern here. Now, if you don't see that, yes, I agree, some of them don't want to, but we get to see that pattern in the market. And here we are just doing that in an extended version, right? You got the wave 1 macro, we are dropping. Now, inside that macro, you got the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and you're going for the next leg up. This is important for us. Why? Because the cup and handle pattern has some detail to it. If that happens after a mature short trend, then you're not looking for a huge blow through the skies, right? If that pattern happened after here, you're not actually looking for something like this. But the fact that the price did this higher trend, the momentum like this, one or more month of strong trend like this one here, what you get after that is the continuation of this original trend. And the original trend here, guys, that's crazy run up. If you actually take that and extend to the top, you can see 700x from that start up. But we don't look for the bottom here, because the fact that from the bottom, if you look at that run up, you will see that as a crazy run up. And we are not looking from the bottom here. That's being conservative, that's being realistic, instead of going for the hype train. We are taking it from the breakout here, and from there we are looking for a 60x. I'm using the XRP market cap because I wanted to go all the way back here to show you guys what the market actually did, because most of the charts, when you are looking at the price action, you don't get to see this, right? The same for BTC. If you are not looking at the macro picture, you miss a lot of information. Now, going back to Bitcoin, which is important at this moment, because if you see this asset bursting through the skies, you can be confused, because the fact that on a weekly, we are still here in Tuesday, we have a long way to go for the week. But keep this in mind that on a daily, we are literally observing that the last day, there was a lot of sellers participating in the market. Look at the volume, right? But the price did not drop much, which looks somewhat similar to that of the candles which we saw here, right? It kind of gives you that narrative. But there is a slight difference. What is that? That's what we are looking at right now. We zoom in and see the fact that the previous candles before these corrective candles here was like a mother candle. So this one is an inside candle. But here that changed. That corrective candle put in a new high. So I'm like, something is showing you, yes, bulls are there, but the sellers are trying to come on top. But yes, the fact that we understand the market is still showing you on this scale that we have only done 1 or 2 and we may still have this leg up is crazy, because that means Bitcoin is about to go to $32,000, $33,000, which is going to be really interesting. Because on the macro, you are still in that category of bullish phase. You cannot deny the fact that we are running up like that, right? Because on a monthly, you literally see it as a V-shaped recovery. And on the short term, as we saw the V-shaped recovery, the monthly V-shaped recovery is going to blow the minds of a lot of people, because it's going to look something like this. You go all the way up to the previous resistance. Now that means the media is going to talk about this. Even if you enter Uber, wherever you go, people would be talking about the crypto market because it's going nuts. Now, you and me who are already in the market has the opportunity because we've been patient enough to understand what the technology is. We've put hundreds of hours learning through the asset class, learning through the TA and positioning ourselves. And the time is right now starting. So if you have anyone who is so close to you, inform them there is an opportunity here, maybe next 6 months, maybe next 1 year, that's it. But if it happens to be in next 2 to 3 months, done, right? And that's the possibility which we see in XRP. Now, why do I say that? We always look for the time horizon. We know that the time is not what we usually want to look at because it can be wrong 100% because the market goes crazy. You get something in a macro and it get delayed. But every single time one thing kind of follows. What is that? When we start a run up, we reach a top this soon. It just happened in a week. The move from 0.318 towards 0.56 happened in 8 days last time. Remember, that is the same when you're looking in XRP, even on the momentum side to the downside. You were here at 0.65 and you reached down to 0.34 in 9 days. So we get the idea here. When XRP moves, it moves quickly and it does give you the price action structure showing you A, B, C, which is on the corrective leg I'm taking because this is a negative trend. Otherwise, you'd be looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. But what we are observing here is the A, B, C. You went to the downside. Now, again, coming back to the starting of a run up. If we look at the break higher from the moving average, this is on a daily. The other one we discussed is on a weekly. Don't get confused. When you start that run up to the top, it was just 26 days. And what was the ROI? That was the interesting fact. You ran up like this. And the next one, which followed that, was like 240%. So you need a ton of patience here. Even though we are starting the run up, need to understand we just got a candle breaking through all these resistance range like this. And from there, it's like 8 to 10 days on average and the maximum of 25, 26 days. If you don't have that amount of patience, you are going to miss some of these candles, which literally will blow our minds because that is like a 50% run up, right? If we go to $1 and then on a daily we get a 50% run, that's a $1.5. You take profits and move out, the candle goes crazy. It goes nuts, right? So literally in the market, when the FOMO enters, it's hard to predict what's going to happen, but the history and learning through that help us. A lot of people were thinking like this asset was dead, literally. I know a lot of people who are going negative, but right now, everything has been turned just with one candle, just with one daily candle. Remember, we have not yet ended this candle. We still have time, but look at the volume. The volume just went up till this range. So you kind of literally erase last 1 year almost of trading with the volume. And then the price action shows you clearly the fact that the price reached this level, erasing last 130 days of corrective sentiment in just 1 day. So the market can change in just 1 day. And if you left the market yesterday, you missed this. And tomorrow or today when you're coming back looking at the price, you already missed the base run up. And what happens? The price may consolidate in another week and you're like, this is a fake out. The price is about to go drop back down. So following the price on a regular basis is going to be important because on the other side, we look for the macro and we are like, okay, this is getting rejected. The next leg is going to be here at 100. That means assets are going higher. For what reason? Everything should be going higher. That's the macro. Look at the banking sector, what's happening around the globe, right? So we do understand that the opportunity here is just starting. And if you don't believe, go to the return rates, look at the last quarter. A lot of these assets were pumping, showing us that random assets are going in a trend. They are following the money and they're putting in 10x. This is not actually a small thing and it does not happen with a lot of these assets in a bear market. It's showing you a trend and it's our job to literally observe through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of assets in the market and to see how many of them show you the literal possibility of a continuation and how many of them look bullish on the macro. Because some of these on the short term shows it's blown higher, but on the macro, it's just starting. So having the right perspective is going to be really important. Having the right information at the right time in detail like this is going to be important. And if you are looking forward to situations like that where you know what the market is about to do in detail for a lot of different assets which you have in your portfolio, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Now, at this point, I'm not actually trying to give you the overhyped XRP price valuation and all, but what I'm going to literally say here at this moment is like, the market is right now looking for utility. That means it's slowly moving into higher liquidity assets or large cap alts. They are being chosen. We actually see the price action showing us some details of the same happening, right? We go look at Cardano. It's coming back up to test the 50-day moving average, which is good because we already had the thought process of the price making a pattern here, and right now that is breaking to the upside. Now on a daily, you break through the 50-day moving average. That is showing you something is evolving, something is changing. And then you go on a weekly to look at what the hell is that, and you're like, okay, we may actually see this possibility coming in. We talked about this, right? You usually get these kind of corrective action before you take off. So if that's happening, you're breaking through the 50-day moving average on a weekly, you know what happened after that. Just like XRP last time, Cardano also did this, but the difference is the retest was not perfect. So if you are there saying, okay, we broke this level, we went up, we're going to come back down to that range. No, you may consolidate there and allow the moving average to catch up and then bounce higher. That's a parabolic move, which you really don't want to miss. So keep educating yourself, learn as much as possible, not until the top, right? You need to put your time in, learn things at least here before the price takes over to the wave 2 so that you can seize that opportunity. So guys, if you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done that already. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.